another horror review. My name is Tyler Bell. I am a horror author and podcaster, creator of the Westside Fairytales. I write horror, I create horror, and I fucking love talking about it. And today we're talking about The Devil All the Time, the 2020 adaptation of Donald Ray Pollock's book of the same name. This film is directed by Antonio Campos, written by Paulo Campos, and Antonio Campos. I don't know if they actually pronounce their names with any sort of accents, but I love the way that Italian names sound when you say them the right way, because I was raised in the Catholic Church and I have like a vicious love of Italian and Latinate things in my head, and I can't get rid of it. The film follows the life and times of Tom Holland's character, Arvin. What a fucking name. In the mid to late 50s in Appalachia, between the towns of Coal Creek, West Virginia, and Meade, Ohio. And throughout this little band of America, there's all sorts of hijinks and crime and despicable, disdainful, awful, dirty, wonderful filth. It's just a neo-noir movie. I'm reviewing this because horror people said this is a fucking horror movie, and it's not. It's not even remotely a horror movie. I think if you pulled a few specific stills, you might be able to convince somebody that this is a horror film. But in general, this is not a horror movie at all, and that will be reflected in my score at the end of this. This is one of those films that tries to be almost like a Coen Brothers type movie or something from somebody that's really good at writing. You know, that can really weave a well-crafted and interesting narrative, and unfortunately they didn't hire anybody to write for this film that can do that, and so it's really fucking boring most of the time. The film's propped up by Holland's performances, Pattinson, and really I can just give a shout out to all the character actors in this. Our cast is Bill Skarsgard, Jason Clarke, Sebastian Stan, Haley Bennett, Eliza Scanlon, Mia Wasikowska, and Robert Pattinson, who I already mentioned. They all play a variety of interesting roles. I think the only person that was really miscast, despite how good he was Tom Holland. As I said before, he plays Arvin, who's the main character. Arvin is both a child in this, not played by Tom Holland, and also a man-child in this, played by Tom Holland. He's a boy going on adult of somewhere in the age range of 16 to 24. It's kind of hard to peg down exactly, but he's like a rough and tumble bruiser, scumbag kid of dead parents type person. He gets in fights. He's got his little sister to look out after, and she's always getting into trouble because she's a girl. Girls like to catch some of that fuck from the pastor. You know what I'm talking about. Robert Pattinson's character is a revival preacher who seduces / sort of forcibly forces himself onto Tom Holland's sister, and that's pretty much the only good part of the movie is their interactions. Robert Pattinson is a great preacher. He showed up for a better movie than the one he was in, unfortunately. Really, every actor did. Special nods to Robert Pattinson's performance, all of the other people, like I said before, but they just didn't have a lot to do. The movie's good at giving him some of those folksy kind of Appalachianisms where people are just out there in the sticks. I ain't never come by now here no more. They get the accent going on. It's kind of cool. Tom Holland is almost completely unbelievable as this violent child. He just doesn't have the right kind of face. Tom Holland is very pretty and very smooth. I knew, and really was in high school, one of those people that fought all the time. I got my ass kicked constantly, and there's just like a set about your eyes that you get after a while. And usually parts of your face get fucked up. especially if you're fighting as much as he did. You know, you look a little rougher, and Tom Holland he's got such a baby face that it really stands in stark contrast to what he could do. I would have believed Robert Pattinson in the role. Robert Pattinson's got a angular, hawkish face, and he can pull off, you know, I have a troubled past really well. Shout out Edward Cullen. But Arvin, Tom Holland's character Arvin, you know, he goes through a bunch of different plot points and basically resolves every other person's arc with violence against them. Functionally speaking, I think every single plot in this is resolved, or if not like resolved in the classic sense, resolved in the literary sense, through murder or suicide. The very first plot really introduced is Tom Holland's character's father, played by Bill Skarsgard, is a combat veteran of the war in the Pacific. He is a former United States Marine infantryman, deeply religious, somewhat abusive. It's really hard to pin down. His character is not fleshed out very well, which is insane considering he's on screen for like 25 fucking minutes. The guy's wife dies. She gets the cancer. Literally, she just gets the fucking cancer. She collapses because the plot just sneaks up and snatches the soul right out of her fucking body, and then she's got to die, and they're a little bit tore up, and then that entire plot just falls right off the fucking edge. Bill Skarsgard's character goes and kills a dog. He kills the family dog. He sacrifices it to God, which, by the way, for a fucking super religious person, I don't know if you realize this, you don't do that in the Abrahamic faith. There's a whole story that people do go into all the fucking time because they had to transition all these fucking psychos that were killing everything and burning it for the multiple gods of the old Mediterranean religions, and say like, maybe we shouldn't, no more blood sacrifices. So you got fucking Isaac and his kid. God comes down from heaven. He's like, no, chill, dude. We don't do that. We don't do that here. It's like one of the main fucking stories. Everyone should know that story. And for some reason, he doesn't know it, and he kills a fucking dog, and he crucifies a fucking dog, which is just point for movie, point down, point up for the film being in West Virginia. I like that it was set in that area. I love that area. Obviously, anybody that's familiar with my work knows I set most of my stuff there, and it seemed a pretty fair portrayal. There wasn't a lot of fucking yokelisms. Everybody was grounded. A lot of dirty coal town roads and dirty coal town people. I liked it. The setting was great. It was just, unfortunately, is that these plots, all these threaded plots, just don't really go anywhere. They're kind of just set up for there to be people that get killed. Tom Holland's aunt, who has his eventual sister, half-sister, whatever the fuck, she gets killed by her guitar-playing revival preacher husband. Multiple revival preachers in this. He stabs her in the neck with a screwdriver to try to bring her back from the dead because he got bit by a spider and his head swelled up and made him insane, and he lived in a closet for 2 weeks. That sounds very interesting, but for some reason, stretched out over like 25 fucking minutes, it's just not. That guy ends up getting killed by people from Plot 2, who are two serial killers that call themselves the modelers, or they call their victims the models. One of them's the guy's in charge, and he's a big gross, Steve Brudos. He's a Brudos guy, serial killer that collected shoes and took pictures of girls during and around the time he killed them. He has a girlfriend that he meets at a diner, and she's just cool with him killing people. They go out, they find hot guys or decent-looking guys, and they take pictures before, during, and after he kills the dude, while the woman is ostensibly getting them naked and maybe having sex with them. That's interesting as fuck. It's somehow boring as shit in this film. They kill, like, 3 fucking people on screen I think in the entire film, their motivations are never gone into. Why she's cool with it's never really established. You get more of why she doesn't want to do it towards the quote unquote end of their reign of terror, because she's just like, wow, fuck, I don't like murder. Murder's bad, and so she stops doing the murder, or wants to. But and she doesn't really even get to see the resolution of that plot, because the next person they pick up is Tom fucking Holland, and he blows her brains out, and he kills the dude. And by the way, I need to make an aside here. Tom Holland's character Arvin, his father, played by Bill Skarsgard, is a Marine veteran of the Pacific War. His keepsake he has when he gets home is a fucking German Luger pistol. Now, either he bought that en route from somebody that was actually in fucking Germany, or there's no real reason for him to fucking have it. The Japanese have their own pistols, and they're fucking cool. It would be nice to see the Pacific represented to some degree, but they wanted to put a little line in there that was, this is the pistol that Hitler killed himself with, and that's crazy. You're still a jokester, guy, and it fucking makes no goddamn sense. Just give him a fucking Japanese, whatever, Type 21 pistol or whatever the fuck they're called. It's frustrating. It's little things like that you can tell, like the writing was just not present, at least in the screenplay. I've never read the book. One last major problem I have with this, and I can't even get. There's one more plot thread I forgot about, which is the guy that finds, or the police officer that has to deal with Arvin the night of his father's suicide. Bill Skarsgard kills himself. I think I mentioned that. That sheriff ends up becoming, or that sheriff's deputy or cop or whatever the fuck he is, ends up becoming the corrupt sheriff of the local town, and also his sister is the serial killer's partner and a horror of sorts, and she gets killed by Arvin, obviously, and so he wants to go out and kill Arvin, but Arvin kills him because I don't fucking know, man. Because the plot demands it. They go and they have a little firefight in the woods that means nothing, because they like barely fucking know each other. It's the climactic penultimate scenes of the film, and you don't give a shit because it's not a great battle between wills. It's some fat, corrupt cop mismanaging a firefight with a 19-year-old in the woods. It's fucking dumb as shit. It's so stupid. Now, one of the most irritating things about this is that the screenwriters, I guess they liked the book a lot because they had the fucking author narrate chunks of the book throughout the movie. I love reading. I do. I love reading my stories to people. I make a living off of it. Fuck. Don't do it in the middle of a movie while people are trying to act. I don't need to know what Donald Ray Pollock wrote about this preacher. Robert Pattinson is on the screen playing him right now. And he's fucking great. He's Robert fucking Pattinson. Have you ever seen Good Time, Fun Time, wherever the fuck that movie is? It's amazing. It's the shit. He's great. I like that 9/11 film. Also, The Lighthouse. He's an amazing fucking actor. Let him act. But no, throughout the movie, every one of these wonderful performances at high-level moments where these actors are really getting their chance to shine. Fucking Donald Ray Pollock. And there, Missy May never really suspected she might meet Johnny Tumps again. But when he walked into that diner on the corner of 3rd and 8th Street in Meade, Ohio, she knew that maybe the devil was playing cards in her soul. I just made that up off the top of my head, but you basically get that shit constantly. Donald Ray Pollock's got a great voice. He sounds like he's about to introduce an episode of Tombstone at any fucking minute. But Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch the film. Stop talking over it, Donnie. God damn it, that's Robert fucking Pattinson on screen. He's beautiful. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Oh. final grades. For quality of film, I'm going to give this a 5. It does good as much as it does bad. Like, it's insane. Like, if it wasn't for the really, really good performances, this movie wouldn't be worth watching at all. It would just be, it's boring. It's like, it's basically soap opera writing. Oh, but she was his brother all along. Like, God, fuck off. The setting's amazing. I love that it's in West Virginia. The towns look beautiful. All of the character dressing, the makeup, the hair is fucking perfect. It feels like I'm hanging out with Creekers in Charleston for half the goddamn film. It's wonderful. I got black lung just watching it. 5. That's what you get. That's what you get for talking over your movie through half your fucking movie. Enjoyability, I will give it a 4. It actually pissed me off. There's some pretty great parts of it, and those are the parts where Robert Pattinson or Tom Holland are doing their little acting, and some of the other people are kind of acting, and it's just nice. It's nice. They have nice little scenes. The whole thing where Robert Pattinson is going after it's kind of great. God bless him. I don't give a shit about chicken livers. That whole part of the film could have gotten cut. Jesus Christ. Anyhow, so yeah, like a 4. And is this horror? No, not even remotely. 1. I'll give you a 1 because a dog gets crucified, which is awful. And I don't know why people were saying this is a horror film. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I swear to God. Horror critics on the internet will literally just fucking say anything is a horror movie, and they don't give a shit. It blows my fucking mind. I don't understand. Like, it's a genre for a reason. And if you don't understand that certain things belong in and don't belong in the genre, then you're going to have people that come along and they're fucking pissed because they wanted to watch a horror film, and then you ended up watching bad Forrest Gump. Like, stop it. My overall grade is avoid it. It's really not that good. Check it out if you want. I would avoid it. There's other things to do. You have a better way. There's a lot of better ways to spend 2.5 hours, almost 2.25 hours. Find one of those and do that. As I said before, my name is Tyler Bell. I'm a horror author. If you hate my opinion, tell me down in the comments down below. I'm not a monolith. Shake me up, dude. Tell me how fucking dumb I am. But I swear to God, if you tell me that fucking Robert Pattinson ain't a goddamn cutie, I will come for you in the fucking dark with a shotgun. That's a law. But if you think my opinions are fucking stupid, just let me know. I don't give a shit. Check out my podcast, The Westside Fairytales, westsidefairytales.com. We're in the middle of our 5th season right now, which is crazy to think. Support me on Patreon, and I'll read your name at the end of one of our seasons. Patreon.com/westsidefairytales. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. Share the video. Like the video. Deuces. Much love. And until next time, as always, stay safe out there.